Anyway, inside this temple, once you've killed everyone, is the firepower. And, you know, it's a very simple little area. This sort of feels like one of those places that could have been another big dungeon crawl. But we have just done the fire realm, honestly. I mean, we didn't have to do the glacial thing, so we sort of have just come off the heels of that. So I don't mind. Well, no, we did have to do the glacial one here because, of course, this firewall, it would have been impeding our progress anyway. So we've actually now got level 2 water and level 2 fire. And what does that mean? Well, first of all, it means that if we cast a fire shield, look how much longer it lasts now. Really useful. It's like tripled the duration. Very, very cool. And therefore you can imagine once we get fire level 3, there's even more stuff in store for us. But also it means by combining water and fire together, we actually now get level 3 steam too. Level 3 steam allows us to break through level 3 steam, sorry, level 2 steam. Level 2 steam, has a cooler animation. Well, it's basically the same, but it is bigger. And it actually will now allow us to get through these ice blocks. This means if we go back to the glacial area now, like right now, we go all the way back, we can actually complete that area. Because again, I was wrong as well. You know, I was like, oh, we're about 25% done. Completely wrong. We're like 75% done with that region. What I was thrown off because of that friggin' like temple thing there. But yeah, we're like pretty much done with that area. But if we go back, we can actually get a fragment and do some more stuff and like complete it, which is an exciting prospect. And also, I think we actually have access to the first boss as well, because I know where the final water fragment is too. And if we want, the guide that I'm following doesn't recommend you do it yet, but I think I might because I've read ahead on the guide I'm reading. And okay, so sorry, I should explain what I'm doing there. That was the light disc fragment 1, really easy to find. You just dig through there, and there you go, light disc fragment 1. Very cool. But yeah, the guide I'm reading sort of it has you fight loads of the guardians, loads of the big bosses all together back to back. I think it might be more fun in the LP if we space them out a bit. And I do know that I can get all 3 water disc fragments right now to give us access to that encounter. I'm just wondering whether there's more powers or something we need, or a good reason why we should be waiting. I might, after this recording session, I'll test it on my test file, and we could see that we fight that boss pretty soon. That sound good, guys? Yeah, I think that sounds pretty good. So yeah. But we can go back and do the glacial thing now. Instead, we're going to stick about with the Earth Realm, because as I say, this area, I just love it so much. This is the final drill that we want to activate here. I feel like I was in the middle of a point there, and I just sort of completely talked myself off of it. I've also not gone for any of these, have I? Yeah, so this new area is actually really useful to have your firepower before you try it. This is like a bigger, more advanced version of that cave we saw in the water realm, where we got that disc. A big dark area, narrow pathways, and that's actually ice on the edges. So you walk anywhere near the edge and you're going to slide off. They're punishing about it. It's also got a lot more verticality in this one. This has got like ladders that take you up and down and so forth. So you're going to want to be careful with where you go and when, because the region can be tricky. The other tricky thing is you're actually on a time limit, basically, because you can only pop this fire thing so many times before you run out of fire element. And that can spell disaster. If you come here before you've got fire level 2 and you have to pop the shield more and more and more and more often, if you come here before you've increased the fuel cell, it can be really dangerous because you can get stranded in the pitch black out there and you've got nothing else that you can do. There is a save point that I probably should have hit nearby, but hey, whatever. I'm going to jump down here. Oh no, I fell. Am I falling? Oh, shit.
Press the A button to continue your quest.
I thought I'd landed. What can I say? Oh, man. We haven't even killed all the enemies here now. What the fuck is this? Oh, I'm so far back. Wow. Right, we've now done everything. I've caught back up, and I've also broken all of the rocks in this region. So let's give the dark room another try, shall we? The dark room was down here. Here we go. And this time, hopefully we won't fuck up and get ourselves killed. So as I explained, we've got to collect both obsidians again. The way I did it on my test file was actually slightly different, so we'll try that again. I can't believe I fell down and died here. What a shame. What an absolute shame. As I've explained, make sure you've got your firepower. I mean, you can do it without it. It's going to be difficult. Very, very difficult. It's one of those games as well where you can't, like, fiddle about with, like, gamma settings or brightness on your TV. It's just utterly dark and you're not meant to be able to see anything. And jumps like that as well, like, you're going to have to do blind because you can't really use your air power, because your air power takes up another slot on your armor. So you see the problem with trying to fly around and why they sort of force you to stick on the paths, which I really like. I think it's a really cool self-balancing little thing to say to people, okay, well, you can try and like double jump across big gaps to try and make it areas quicker, but if you go in that direction, you're running the risk of missing the platform completely because it's a big drop. Right, so anyway, there we go. That's 2... Oh, I slid over that there. There we go. That's 2 obsidians. And there's something else in the back of this room too. Which... should I show you now? Do you know what? I'm going to leave it. Yeah, do you know what? I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it. Now there is an extra thing in the back. Okay, it's got very little to do with the Earth Realm, but basically the Earth Realm has 4 crystals hidden in it, and it's part of a big puzzle to enter the Air Realm. So later on, I shouldn't even really be mentioning the Air Realm right now, but way later on we're going to be dealing with stuff to do with crystals hidden in the Earth Realm, and we can always come to this one later. So I'm going to leave it for now. I'm going to leave it. Again, the guide I'm following is like, oh, hey, yeah, start dealing with all this stuff now. And I suppose it's the more efficient play, but it doesn't fully make sense. Just know that there are some crystals hidden about. One of them is in that dark room, and we'll get to it when we get to it. Anyway, so what was the point of going down there, right? Well, point number 1, we got ourselves firepower number 2. So we now have steam level 2. We can do stuff with that glacier. Very cool. Reason number 2... was the extra fragment, and reason number 3, and probably the most important one when it comes to exploring the Earth Realm, is we've now got 3 extra keys for drills and a 4th, which is confusing me because I can't quite remember what it's for or why I have it. Unless, did I not activate both on this file? Well, no, we must have. We must have. I don't know where that extra keys come from. It's really frustrating me. It doesn't happen to go into one of these, does it?
Need to find the key.
No, it doesn't. You actually notice each key has got a different texture. So can you see on that thing up at the top? One's got like a 1 on it. One's got like a blank thing. These ones have got like little cogs in. And you can use that to know whether you've got the keys for the right stuff or the wrong stuff. So we're looking for 3 cog keys right now. And we've already got 3 keys with the number 1 on them. So there's that big wheel thing over there, which is still broken. It's going to be our goal very soon to repair that. But here, look. There's a drill up here, and since we've got a bunch of drill keys from the drill zone, why don't we have a look? As you can see, it's nighttime, so it's very dark at the moment. Those enemies that are deers during the day and easy to kill, and then become those big goat things. Do you remember that we crushed when we first came to the Earth Realm? They're called Norharts. Norarts, I guess would be the way to say it. So anyway, we can drill into that, and that's going to open up an area that we'll be exploring next episode. One of my favourite areas within the Earth Realm. I've got to stop saying everything's my favourite, but I love the ambience in there. I'll say that much. The ambience in there is awesome. It's got all the, like, these birds, and there's waterfalls, and there's pretty trees and vines. Oh, it's amazing. It's so cool in there. But what we're actually going to do to wrap this episode up is raise the tower. Now, how do we do that? Do you remember when we first came to the Earth Realm? We put 2 switches in to activate a machine and then promptly walked off because we slid down that slope back to the Water Realm, and then we used our new steam power, if you recall, to explore far deeper into the Water Realm. We went to the stormy area of the Water Realm, and then after that we had our air power, so we went to the Fire Realm. And we never came back. We never went on that pulley ride. We never saw what all that stuff had to do with. Well, that's to do with opening the tower, and again, it's one of the many things that we could have done already, but I've saved it for now. Also, did you notice how our fire armor just looks cooler now as well? Like, there's more on our shoulders and stuff. So, this is all area we're familiar with. Look, lots of sleeths, easy to kill sleeths, beautiful, wonderful sleeths. The B attack does more damage than the A attack, so that's another reason why you might want to do it. Because then you can, if you've got the right power, you can just one-shot people. And so we're going to slide down here into the icy area. You remember all this, guys? And we had the obsidian that we can't quite get to just up on the other side. But we put 2 keys in here, do you remember? I guess I could have waited for ages and then only put the keys in now, but hey. So we had the 2 keys here, and what we're actually going to do is, and by activating those, that's what turned on the pulleys. That's what turned on the pulley that let us go into the drill region earlier as well. So like, if I hadn't done that all that time ago, go away, sleeths. Go away, sleeths, I'm stuck. So if I hadn't done that back then we would have had to have come here as well. So, you know, it was a little bit of an efficiency play there, I suppose. But yeah, up on the top here, you see that pulley? We never did explore it, did it? There's also some emeralds that we can collect. Still can't get that obsidian. You can try and, like, fly at it, but you can't quite get the height right now. Not with only air power level 1. So we're going to have to wait on that. But here, look. Let's grab some emeralds. I'm on that, thank you. I almost thought he wasn't going to latch on, and I was going to get very annoyed with the game being clunky there. Also, obviously, this is an icy hill, and this is like one of the worst places for ice physics in this game. They're so powerful, the ice physics on this. They've like toned them up so high. Like, if you're even slightly sliding in one direction, the devs will just strong arm you into not being able to move. Anyway, we'll stand on this, and we get on a really cool ride that takes us through the Earth Realm. I did show you this like long beam before. you remember this is where we stood earlier that we slid down? There was that big door I pointed out, this one here. Well, this now opens now that we're in our lift. We get a really cool sight of a very interesting looking place here with a key with a cog on it. So that's one of the tower keys that we're looking for. Looks really beautiful and pretty in there. We'll be seeing this next episode actually being able to get outside of that tube. But for now, we're unable to get outside the tube. And instead, it's just going to dump us out here on a waterfall. We have no choice but to go into the water, slide down this huge pipe. And we're now basically, you know where we saw the tower? We're now in that region, but really, really low down. Okay, so if we look at how high this room is, yeah. And check it out. This is the tower, guys. Look, the tower's right here. Fantastic idea. And if you actually have a little bit of a browse around, you'll find that there's a key there with a cog on it, which is fantastic. So that's one of the 3 keys we need at the very least. It's basically a freebie they give you. But we've also got to raise the tower up. So there's this incredibly intimidating room here with tons and tons and tons of enemies in, but actually very little in the way of pickups. So this is like the one room where I would recommend you don't bother killing stuff because you can just kite them around. There is an obsidian to collect near the water, so do grab this on this slope. Enemies won't be smart enough to climb up. There's an emerald underneath it as well. And I guess I'm going to risk going near that catalyst to get it. There's these cool fish as well. The fish don't hurt you, by the way, if anyone's been wondering that. I'm just going to grab all the emeralds here because this is the only time we're going to come into this cave down here. There's no other reason to come back here as long as you get everything on your first time through. So we're going to grab these, and you see all these massive cogs that are all currently turned off, all rusting away, not doing anything. There's a single switch. A single switch. It doesn't take a key to use, so again, I don't know why we've got this extra key. We're going to press X, and look at all the cogs back up in the main region with those cool little bird things, which I haven't seen anywhere else in this game so far. They give you loads of health. And there you go, all the cogs are turning. And the tower begins its ascent. How easy is that? Very cool. So all we had to do, this is basically the continuation of putting those keys in near the entrance to the water realm. Raise the tower up. There's the bridge extending, as I told you it would do when we first came to the Earth realm. And even this thing in the middle spins around. Isn't that curious? Why is that spinning? I actually don't remember why that's spinning. I think later a beam might come out of that or something. But that's a bit further than I've playtested so far. And anyway, this huge room, but that's all there really is. One interesting thing, once you raise the tower up, you can look down. Look, there's a huge room down there with a turbine spinning, and there's enemies down there as well. You can't get down there. There's no way at all, but I don't know why they put bots there. Very curious idea. We stand here, and that lift we saw ages ago with the key is now like, now has to come down, so we're going to grab the key, speed up the lift. This has to be one of the fastest lifts in Azurik, and that's going to take us right above the cavern. I love the idea that the cavern's still just below us and rendered. And there we go, the tower has been raised. We're not actually going to climb that ladder. Instead, we're going to take this, Jesus, what's it called? An elevator. Wow, I didn't forget the word elevator. We're going to take this elevator, nice, back up to the top of where we were originally. Some of this machinery seems to break as well for some reason. Like, you can't call the lift from above. This is a Norheart, by the way, while it's daytime, and he's really easy to kill at this point. As I say, they're weak to the whirlwind. So if you damage him, I actually think he'll transform into it if you're not careful. But there you go. He actually drops 3 health pickups. And we've got the tower up there. So if we want to put keys in again, there's those overlords that I was talking about ages ago. If you want to put the keys in again, you have to climb back up here and then go back up this ladder here, right to the very top of the world. Look at this. Look at how high up we managed to come. And we, of course, have already got one of those keys, which I already got, which is what I'm going to place in now. And next episode, guys, do you remember that drill that we still got 2 extra drill keys? Look at all the keys we've got now. It's crazy. Only one of them remains a mystery. So here we go. We'll put this one in here. Voila, but we need 2 more still. Very curious. We need 2 more keys. Next episode, guys, do you remember that drill that we activated down below? The drilled, and I never showed you what was on the other side? That's where we're going to head next. It's one of the most luscious, beautiful, tropical-looking areas that this realm has to offer. And then we're going to be going to the most memorable place in this entire game for me, which is one of the desert sections. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Azurik, Rise of Perathia, and I will see you next time. Bye! I kind of want to jump off, but I haven't saved, so you're not going to be able to see that. I've got to go save manually now. Let's climb back down.